Welcome back to Rants and Reels. We are about to go see Joker, so we'll see what this is about. Can you take a villain like Joker and successfully turn him into the protagonist of a film? I don't know. We're going to find out. Joker's a pretty incredible movie, really. I walked out feeling very uneasy, and I think that was the intent. The film is really a display of an embrace of madness rather than a descent into madness. The way they constructed, the way Todd Phillips constructed this version of Joker, and I think Joaquin Phoenix's portrayal, his performance, added a lot to the character. So I think he should probably get some credit here too. The way they built and portrayed this character of Arthur Fleck becoming Joker it's not set up in a way that society didn't make him. He already was. He is a profoundly broken individual, somebody with many problems, and they didn't shy away from talking about or displaying these mental illness issues, but they also did not attempt to use those as an excuse. Not an excuse, an underlying reason, I suppose. There were a lot of elements that portrayed him being the way he is, becoming what he became, as his becoming Joker, the homicidal lunatic. It was played as a conclusion, an inevitable conclusion. He was always going to become this. This is it. To fight, to be anything else it's really hard to nail this one down. I'm trying. Let's talk about something else then. The direction of the film made it easy to forget this is a comic book. This is a comic book movie. This is a comic book character in a comic book movie. And so all of the metaphor, all of the analogy, the world that is constructed is entirely fantastical. It is in its entirety a fantasy. In some aspects, in some respects, it is meant to be satire is not the right word. It's not a satirization of reality, but there is a certain amount of social commentary, shares that with something that would be satirical. It is hyper realized, poverty, destitution, violence, all of these things that are inherent in society, most societies, is exaggerated. It is brought out and emphasized to make a point. The point in this film, and I have been thinking about this since I walked out of the theater, I'm still not entirely sure I've got the point right, because it is, I think, a little more complex than just a comic book look at reality and a villain, and that villain's response to a very harsh reality and very harsh society. I think one good reason that I'm having a hard time with this, uh, the film employs the unreliable narrator uh, to an incredible degree. The unreliable narrator is taken to an extreme by having your narrator be Joker. He's essentially telling his own origin story. And so of course it's going to be skewed. You're going to have a hard time somewhere in this film finding your ground, finding what they say is real, what they say is not real, what you have a character, an unreliable narrator. Arthur Fleck is completely separate and has severed his ties with reality. And it is really difficult to be taken on that ride. I think Todd Phillips did a remarkable job making this film. And I think Joaquin Phoenix did a spectacular job with this character and his performance. I feel uneasy. There are moments in this film where you genuinely feel empathy for this person, for this character. And it's hard to remember that you are not supposed to feel empathy for Joker at all at any point in time. But you do, and that is an incredible mark for Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix. That said, there are aspects of this film that are absolutely horrific. It, I think, elevates this character, the character of Joker, of Arthur Fleck. It does not humanize him in the way I thought it might have. Because we are viewing this through the lens of an unreliable narrator, the humanization is almost fallacious. He's humanizing himself and in some ways justifying his own actions, while at the same time absolutely refusing to justify his own actions because that's just who he is. You can't understand his motivations because his motivations are insane. Not to be ableist about it, but again, we're talking about a fictitious character that is insane. He is completely severed from reality, and you are forced to view everything through his lens with only the briefest glimpses outside to what's really happening. And not kind of, is a terrifying character. They did make this a very, very terrifying character because he is so unpredictable. Joker is a very remarkable film. This is Rants and Reels. Thank you for watching. Good night, everybody.